Welcome to Stay Lucid and Brand the Future, a series of conversations with those shaping the present of agriculture and already working on its future. Today we are joined by Brett Goodwin, Vice President of Marketing at Carbon Robotics. With a career built at the intersection of disruptive technologies and market strategy, Brett has helped shape companies at critical moments of technological transformation, including leading 2 firms to IPO. At Carbon Robotics, he's driving the global expansion of the laser weeder, an AI-powered high-precision tool that is redefining weed control and opening new possibilities for sustainable farming. His journey reflects a deep commitment to turning breakthrough technologies into practical solutions that change how agriculture works. Thanks for joining us, Brett.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Your career is focused on scaling disruptive tech companies, including taking 2 to IPO. What did you see in Carbon Robotics laser weeding technology that signaled to you this is the next big disruption in agriculture?
Yeah. Well, I think we're at a very interesting point in history and time. We have this massive disruption of artificial intelligence, AI, and at the same time, robotics. And what intrigued me is how this technology could be applied to traditional industries like agriculture and have something that not only resulted in better products for people and healthier products for people, but more profitable farmers and more sustainable farmers for future generations.
For decades, weed control has been dominated by chemistry. Now you are leading the change with AI and physics. From a marketing and strategy perspective, what is the biggest challenge in convincing a farmer to shift from a familiar herbicide spray to a novel laser weeding robot?
Yeah, so as you pointed out, our flagship product is the laser weeder, and it simply identifies what is a weed and what is a crop, and it shoots the weeds with lasers. And it's the only solution that doesn't require any chemicals, no hand labor, and doesn't disrupt the soil or the crop. Our use of herbicides has benefited agriculture for many years, but it comes also at a cost. We have more and more herbicide-resistant weeds. And at the same time, herbicides stunt and damage the crop. And in many cases, they leave residuals. There was a study in the United States where 87% of children and adults had glyphosate, the active ingredient in Roundup, in their urine. Mm-hmm. And it's hard to imagine that an herbicide is good for people.
This first section is about understanding the why behind your journey and the paradigm shift your company represents. We want to explore the foundational vision that drives your strategy. Your technology offers a clear return of investment by reducing herbicide costs and labor. Is this economic argument the primary driver for adoptions, or are growers equally motivated by factors like consumer demand for cleaner food and the growing problem of herbicide-resistant weed?
Yeah. I think I love working with growers and farmers. Mm-hmm. They are just fantastic people and very, very entrepreneurial. They make big bets every year. But at the end of the day, it's the economics that drive it. Everything that gets out on the farm needs to make economic sense and have a payback period. So with laser weeding, as you pointed out, we can reduce their upfront weed control costs by up to 80%. That's usually eliminating, in the case of organic, you're eliminating a lot of hand labor. In conventional, you're eliminating herbicides. But the second piece of the value proposition is by eliminating herbicides and eliminating these weeds before they've competed with crops, we see very large increases in yield and quality and consistency. So we've seen yield increases from 10 to 70% a year across we're working across over 100 crops now, vegetable crops and herbs. So you're able to get more production per acre, have healthier, more consistent crops, and reduce your costs. So laser weeders pay back for growers in typically 1 to 3 years.
Okay, that's pretty short term.
And we have many customers who purchased their first laser weeder and have come back within the first 6 months and purchased their second or their third. And we have customers that are running fleets of laser weeders that are 6 laser weeders.
Okay. What is the key barrier to making laser weeding an industry standard? Is it the upfront capital cost, the operational learning curve, or simply the time it takes for a conservative industry to embrace radical innovation?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think if you think about the last 40 or 50 years, the options we've had to deal with weeds haven't changed. You either pull them out by hand, or you use chemicals, or you use mechanical blades to try to dig them out. So laser weeding is an entirely new paradigm. This idea that you can use computer vision to really identify what is what with your AI, and then to be able to use robotics and then lasers to eliminate those weeds. So it's a whole different way of doing it. So I think there's a upfront awareness and education. And then there's, I think, seeing the proof that it works. So what we've seen here in Europe has been very rapid adoption. It's quickly become half of our business. We now have more than 40 laser weeders in Europe, over 160 worldwide in 14 countries. Wow. So the adoption is accelerating. And, most of these farms are family owned, multi-generational, and they're in valleys or areas where it's good to farm. And they know their neighbors and their other farmers. So when a product works and delivers on its value proposition, that word of mouth travels very quickly.
Your platform is essentially a high-speed, plant-level computer vision system. What other data-driven applications or farm management tasks could this technology unlock for farmers in the near future beyond just weed control?
Yeah. So when the laser weeder goes over the field, we are collecting a lot of data on what types of weeds, what is your weed pressure, how does that vary across your field?
It's very detailed scan.
Your crops, your crop count. So we have a product called Carbon Ops Center, which will show you heat maps. Okay. And you're able to look at it and say, well, gee, why do I have very healthy, high density crops over in this area of my field? And why is it low and different over in this area of the field? So we can help understand, is that due to fertilizing? Is that due to irrigation? Is it due to soil? And help farmers become more productive by looking at the data around their weeds and their crops. I think we get asked, can you do other things? Could you visually identify something that is got a disease? And identify that disease early, and then identify how widespread that disease is.
You probably will in the future.
Exactly. With the beauty of camera vision is anything that you can discern with your own eyes, we can discern with camera vision.
That's amazing. Looking further out, let's discuss how this technology could reshape the agricultural landscape. This section is about the evolution of the technology, the farmer's role, and the competitive environment. As this technology scales, how does it change the role of the farmer? Does it transform them into a fleet manager of autonomous robots, allowing them to focus more on the strategic and agronomic side of their business? We were discussing here in these conversations a lot about the role of the grower, how it is changing and how different is the grower now than, 15 or 20 years ago. And so how different it is the grower in the future we are envisioning.
Yeah. I think with the advent of laser weeding, you now have something that you can control and predict with certainty. Whereas before with weed control, you might not know, can I get enough labor? Can I get enough? Is my chemical application going to be effective? You've got wind, water, humidity. Now they have something that's very, very predictable and automated. Every farm I've been to doesn't have enough labor. There's many different important jobs, whether we're talking about sorting, grading, packing, harvesting, running irrigation. So the kind of lowest value use of labor is to actually have people out in the fields doing weed control. And so this technology frees up those resources to put them against higher valued tasks. A significant percentage of crops aren't harvested each year because there isn't enough labor to harvest them. And now by automating weed control, you can have higher productivity and yield, higher quality, higher consistency. And
it will have an effect in the rest of the
all the way down the line, from grading and sorting and packaging to the quality and health to the end consumer.
Or creating new things, no, like brands or products out of their crops.
Right, exactly. You see a lot of innovation in terms of, if you look at all of the pre-made salads and you look at baby carrots, right? Baby carrots are in every child's lunch, right? So innovations that occur as the growers bring these products to market, then cascade back in terms of what they grow and how they grow it.
Looking ahead, how will the AI model evolve? Will we see hyper-specialized AI for specific crops and regions, or a universal within brain that learns collectively from every machine in the field worldwide?
So we've created the world's first large plant model. It's a AI model that is created using over 65 million labeled plants. And today that's based on having over 150 laser weeders and running across over 100 different crops. We've also come up with the capability to augment that model with some specific images from the farmer's field that then are incorporated in real time. So you get the best of both worlds, which is the most advanced, most knowledgeable AI model at identifying weeds and crops, but then also something that's tailored specifically to things that may be unique to your field, your crops, your weeds. And all that happens in real time.
In the next decade, do you see the main competition coming from other robotic companies, or do you think we will see the major chemical companies develop their own non-chemical solutions in response for this disruption?
Yeah,
it's a configuration of the market, no?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, what as it relates to competition, we invented the laser weeding category and came out with the first and only one. But and there are others that are looking to, and that's good. If you're the only person in a market, doesn't mean there may not be a market there.
Exactly.
right. So, we feel like as long as we continue to innovate faster and become the trusted innovation partner for these farmers to deliver on that value proposition, right? Give them a product that makes them more profitable and more sustainable for future generations. So I think we'll see, like anything, healthy competition of people who come out with different possible laser weeders. I think we have a very big lead that we're going to continue to extend. What I see happening in chemicals is a move from, say, broadcast spraying of chemicals to more selective spot spraying.
Surgical, no?
Yeah, more selective, and it's not nearly as precise as laser weeding, but it allows you to use less herbicide and minimize the amount that you get onto other plants. So I think one is a more judicious, more targeted use of herbicides. I think, longer term, we're firm believers that if you have a solution that can use no herbicides, that's the best possible solution out there.
Perfect. For this final set of questions, I'd like to paint a picture of the distant future. Let's explore the ultimate end game for this technology and what farming could look like in 2050, for example. So, do you believe by 2050 the use of broadcast chemical herbicides in large scale vegetable farming will be a thing of the past, largely replaced by autonomous, intelligent, non-chemical solutions like yours?
Yeah, by 2050, I think
25 years from now.
25 years from now. I mean, I think that you will see the themes of automation and the themes of autonomy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Ideally, you have intelligent, AI-driven robotic machines that can perform a lot of the work and tasks that are required to plant, then weed. Harvesting is a challenge because it's so unique to each crop, right? The way that a carrot harvester looks is so different than an onion harvester from a strawberry harvester. Sure. So that one's a little bit hazier to see, but I think we'll see more, and I think weed control will be fully automated, largely autonomous. I think that if we can continue to drive down the economic cost of adopting the technology, continue to make it faster and continue to make it lighter so that it fits in more and more situations, it will significantly displace chemical methods of weed control. Will it eliminate it all by 2050? Probably not all, but I think that you'll see a large part of it that's been eliminated.
In a future where AI and robotics handle most of the manual and repetitive tasks, what becomes the most critical human skill on the farm?
Yeah. I think there's no substitute for the experience that farmers have, because there's so many variables in farming, so many variables to the weather and the seasons and the soil and different diseases and pests. And so I think the farmer's experience now kind of turned into superpowers with using these new modern tools.
Yeah,
right.
Sure.
I think the farming will become more and more deterministic and more predictable.
Okay.
And more profitable. We need farming to be profitable and sustainable, because growing healthy food that's widely available for everyone in the world is one of the most fundamental things that we do as humans.
What is the single most important decision the agriculture industry needs to make today to accelerate the transition to a more sustainable and automated future?
One of the things that we see that's really positive in Europe is programs that provide grants that allow farmers to, defray some of the costs to share the investment in moving to this new set of technologies. And that's an area where we see Europe very far ahead of the US. And that's across all the different EU member states. And I think that's really forward thinking and smart, right? And you know, making it economically easier to adopt the technology. And then it's on us to make that as easy to use and intuitive as possible.
That's nice. Just to finish, please complete this sentence. The future of agriculture is
bright.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Brett, for being with us.
Thank you.